in the law of English, that causal body in English is what is called where whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever we say are etched or put into a groove or written down, if you want to call it that way. You call the reaction and the action and the consequences, the resultant, they are all written down in the Karana Sharira. At death, the body dies, the mind also goes. The Karana Sharira, on which our ambitions, our wishes, our aspirations, our prejudices, unfulfilled desires, etc., are all etched in this Karana Sharira, which moves from body to body. So, according to the Indian concept, the Karana Sharira moves from body to body. The body is ephemeral, is transient, is not permanent, is goes from body to body, body to body. We started off as a plant, from the plant plus what is called the animal, and from the animal we became man. As I mentioned earlier, it is rock plus life is plant, plus called the feelings, etc., are the animals, plus the discriminating ability is man. And when man is able to transcend good and bad from raga dvesha, when man is able to transcend from the concept of duality, and then he becomes one with God, if you like to say. And that's why our concept of moksha, the concept of moksha is how to get out of the cycle of life, birth cycles. It has been said that you born, that you as a human being, it's a great piece of luck. We became a human being. Who decided that? Did God decide? Did some other entity decide our human birth? All religions say or conceptualize God as a good person, man or woman apart, as a good person. A good person will not be partisan, he will not have prejudices, he will not have favoritism. Therefore, you and I, or the mankind, became a human being. How did he become a human being? How did God gave us the gift or the great good fortune or a great blessing to be a human being? Why did he not make us a mosquito or a worm or a donkey or a monkey? All because God himself does not interfere in this process. It is our own actions. Our own actions in previous birth. We got good actions done in previous birth. We became a human being. Where was the origin in the beginning? Actually speaking, nobody really knows. At where was the beginning? Where did evil start? Who created the whole universe, what is called the prapancha, of billions and billions of galaxies and billions of stars? Who created? There is some concept in the Western world at one time that whole creation was done in Big Bang theory, that God created. One religion says God created from clotted blood. Somebody else, some other religion says that God created everything out of nothing. Now we know scientifically that you cannot create anything out of nothing. We can only transfer from one form to the other. The so-called Einstein theory of E is equal to mc squared proves the point that matter can be converted to energy, and energy and matter are interchangeable. Therefore, one can only create one form to the other form, one rupa to one nama to another nama, one utility to another utility. But you cannot create anything. Everything will ultimately come from where it came from and go back. We are supposed to have come from the so-called Pancha-bhutas. The Pancha-bhutas are called to be the Akasha, the Agni, the soil or earth as it is called, water and air. These five Pancha-bhutas, everything in the world is brought about by a combination of these five entities called the Pancha-bhutas. and finally on death, when our body is cremated or decays in a pit, finally we go back to the earth. We came from the earth and we go back to the earth. In the same way, a human body about 70 kg or 80 kg in weight, when ultimately is burnt in the crematorium, finally becomes about 60 grams. But it's only change in form. It goes back to the earth itself. We are children of Mother Earth, as I mentioned to you last time, and we are going back to our origin. Just like water from the ocean becomes vapor due to the action of the sun, and then from the sun action it becomes cloud, and in the cloud it becomes rain, and the rain becomes rainwater, forms into different streams, different rivulets, rivers, ultimately joins the ocean. So what came from the ocean goes back to the ocean, different forms it took place, and therefore we should all remember that such concepts were even evolved long before, 10,000 years ago. I am going to show you later on as to who did that, which Maharshi, which Muni, which sage had discovered this concept of evolution. And therefore we got this human birth out of our own good karma done, good works done, meritorious work done, help done in your previous birth. It has been said that you have to go through Sahasra Kodi Yoni, meaning millions or billions of birth-death cycle in order to get a human birth. And that is why we say we are destiny or Takdir or Thalailedutha in Malayalam, or karma or fate, all kinds of names are given to them. We became a human being, and the human being only can do the thinking. You can only do conceptualize and evolve what is called a civilization. An animal does not have a choice. Animals are simply instinct driven. A cow will not eat meat, a tiger will not eat ice cream, and all animals are by and large instinct driven. There is a certain amount of difference between an elephant, a dog at one end, and a worm or a snake at the other end. Some are 100% instinct driven, some have got a certain amount of discriminating ability, like what a dog can understand is it has got emotions, it can distinguish between a thief and its own master, it has got loyalty, it can sense many things, and therefore in every act of creation there is these three kinds of Shakti, or three kinds of gunas as it is called. One guna is called tamasic, rajasic, sattvic gunas. It is the interplay of these three gunas. Again repeat, tamasic, rajasic and sattvic gunas. Tamasic is what's called lethargy, idleness, indifference, don't care attitude, laziness if you like to call it, inertia, and then come rajasic. Rajasic, you are very active, chivalrous, we are very ambition, desirous, and to take action. And sattvic is what's called the good part. A man is a combination of all this. Everybody has got all the three gunas. Some have got more sattvic guna, some have got more rajasic guna, some have got more of what we call tamasic. A pig is considered to be a tamasic animal, a cow is considered to be a sattvic animal. A good fruiting tree is called a sattvic tree, while as a weed is considered to be a tamasic. Anyway, the evolution came through an increase in content of sattvic guna. That's what we should know. And through the sattvic guna, by millions of births cycle, we became a human being. And that too, we became a human being in India. And a scholar, a Western scholar particularly, has written that to be born in India is the greatest good fortune one man can have. To be born a human being, to become a human being, to get a human birth in India is one of the greatest good luck which we can have. And if we can also have a what is called sattvic gunas of high degree, with a certain amount of Rajasic Guna. That's the ideal combination, so that not only you are a learned man, a good person, but also a person prepared to do good for others and prepared to be selfless, to be active, service oriented, God fearing, if you like to. The God fearing is a wrong word. Our gods are not for fearing. One religion conceptualizes God as a punishing God, a cruel God, a jealous God. Another religion conceptualizes God as a loving God, as a loving God. In our case, we have no such attributes to God at all. God is attributeless, formless, nameless. He is only a witness or a sakshi as to what's going on.